Studio check.
Frequencies check.
We are live on air.
You are listening to the In Fact Blessing the Airwaves. Take the journey into the world of sports, news, entertainment, while embracing the hottest beats on the planet. Rocking the mind, body, and with energy, electricity, and a splash of controversy. Now, without further ado, it's our pleasure to bring to you
The biggest show in the world.
The biggest show in the world.
the biggest show in the world, the SBTV Nation.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, happy weekend to you. It's the 13th of May. We are here. It's 2017. We're already halfway through the year. And I'm happy to say that I got my boy back, the evil genius of Major League Baseball. Dr. Dan, good morning to you.
Oh, what's going on, kid? Nice to be back. I won't say halfway through the year because we're in New England. We're finally going to get some warm weather this week. So let's say the start of summer.
Warm weather, you think so, huh?
Finally coming. Well, they said 70s to start the week, 80s to end it, but the weekend is supposed to be miserable again.
Of course.
So, you know.
Of course.
That's the way it's got to do us.
That's the way it works. So good morning to everybody. We are live on Twitter right now with my man, Direct Sports Solutions. Vegas Girl is on here. Gilbert Arizola. Good morning and welcome to the party. Welcome to the program. And I got a lot to talk about with the evil genius today.
Woo! We're
Yes.
gonna talk about how the Celtics got done dirty.
The Celtics got done dirty. Talk to me about why you think that, because John Wall is incredible, dude.
Oh, he's insane. And I'm not saying that the Celtics should have won that game, but like if you look at the end of that game, there was 3.2 seconds on the clock, right?
Yep.
The shot gets drained by Wizards. There's like 2.8 or 2.5. Somehow they get jobbed of an extra second. It's clear. Like if you watch the replay and you look at the end of the game, and I'll give credit. CBS Sports has a really good like slow down breakdown of this.
Yep.
But you know, in the NBA, especially when you got guys like the Celtics have that can fly, a second means everything for a last second shot.
Right.
Like that's a ton of time.
Absolutely.
Not saying they would have made it or not, but I just think the NBA is kind of a joke. They got some more egg on their face trying to push the Game 7. And then, of course, like the idiots they are, they're going to start the Golden State-San Antonio series before the Game 7 of this series is even played. Like, what the? Like, I don't understand the NBA.
They're just trying to cram it all in, brother.
Yeah, but just play Game 7 tomorrow and have Game 1 of the Spurs-Golden State tip on Monday. All you got to do is flip-flop them. It's
Right
not
on.
a big deal. Like, no one's using your arena anymore.
I wonder if the dream is betting the Golden State Warriors minus 1,100 to win the series. Because I saw that. I'm like, minus 1,100, dude. Damn. That is, I mean, dude, when you get the Spurs plus 700, it is what it is, man. I mean, hey.
What's Golden State to sweep?
Golden State to sweep, huh? That's probably a pretty decent prop. I mean, they got to play 2 games in San Antonio for that to happen. Where they're probably going to be, if they win these 2 games, they'll probably be a 2 to 3 point favorite. Let's take a look here. NBA props. Let's pull that up right now and see. Is that something you're interested in? You think they're going to sweep their way to the?
I'm very curious about. I don't know. I kind of think 5 games. But what I'm thinking is, I know the Warriors are going to win. So what I want to look at doing is you take the Spurs on the series play, right?
Yep.
But then you take Golden State in 4, 5, 6, or 7. And I think you're going to be able to arbitrage that.
You think so, huh?
I mean, with getting the Spurs at plus 700 to win the series.
Mm.
And then if you're picking exact series prices, I mean, shop it, right? Because different books might have different plays on
absolutely. You definitely.
So,
gotta
like, I
shop
think
it.
if you shop it, you can arbitrage it.
I think the Spurs actually came out kind of heavy at that. Well, it's plus 680 right now. They're a 10-point underdog in Golden State on Game 1. I got to be honest with you, dude. When you have a fast-paced team like Golden State that runs the floor like they do, with the layoff, they could start a little rusty in that game.
They could, or they could have their legs completely under them and absolutely kill them. I mean, look at what Houston and Houston blew it. Houston should have won, but
I know.
They just looked like a shell. But whatever. That's said. That's like one dude running the court on you.
Yeah, pretty much.
No Parker.
I know.
I don't see them winning more than a game at home. Like, I don't think, they could get swept. I have a good inkling they could get swept, but I just don't see Pop going out on their home court getting swept like that. So they'll probably win like game 3.
I don't know, though, dude, because, when you look at what they did to Houston, and granted, listen, Golden State has way many more scoring options than Houston, but what I'm saying is that you got to tip your hat a little bit to them defensively. I think they can keep them in the game.
But do you think, I'm not saying, look, I think they have the best defender in the game.
Yeah.
I definitely think so. So when you look at Harden, but Harden also, and even D'Antoni basically admitted, he was out of gas. Golden State is like, they got 3 quarters in the tank and they're ready to rumble,
Yeah.
I just don't see, I look at what happened to San Antonio, right? When they lost, what was it? Game 1 or right when they got lit up and they gave up 126 to Houston. I just see something like that going down in game 1 against Golden State, but that's my minor opinion on it. But I think Golden State wins the series in 4 or 5. But there's arbitrage opportunity. I think there's a way to make good amount of money here with this.
Who is their best player in Golden State? Is it Curry or Durant?
KD.
Yeah, I got to go KD as well.
Just because he's more versatile,
right?
I think. But that's really like slighting Curry because Curry's probably the best shooter in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Right. You got 2 of the best shooters, right? Because, Clay, is going to shoot lights out. So that's my thing. How do you cover them? Because the thing is, you can use Durant he can drive the lane. He can jump. He can take the good jump shot.
Yep.
I just don't see right now, especially, like I said, with the Parker injury and basically, the rest of that team looking. Look, Kawhi is amazing. I don't want to slight him either. I think he's like top 3 in the league, top 4.
Yep.
He's just amazing. Probably the best 2-way player in the league. I just don't think the Spurs have enough. I don't think they have enough.
Well, the thing is that, without their best player, they went into Houston and embarrassed them. So I'm just saying that, if they're barring an injury here, because he's going to probably play game 1, he's probable. I don't know. I think the Spurs can get a game or 2 here. I really do. So big ups to my man Rick Lopez for that. That's a really, really incredible photo, brother. I appreciate getting a picture of her on the blue couch there. So,
oh yeah.
All right, Dan. So that's that, and so we got Game 7, Washington Wizards versus the Celtics, and the Celtics are -4.5 on Monday night.
4.5. God, I hate that half. You obviously buy the hook. I think the Celtics win.
Yeah, I think Celtics win too. And then I think they're going to be an underdog in the next series versus Cleveland. Clearly.
Well, definitely.
Clearly.
I would almost rather see Washington play Cleve.
But yeah.
I think Cleve stomps out Boston.
Yeah, I think so too. They just the rebounding and you look at the bigs for Washington. You got Gore Todd. You know what I'm saying? Versus Tristan Thompson and
but what for the Celtics? It's like Kelly Olynyk.
Yeah,
it's not like that's great shakes over there either.
Yeah.
So either way, it's a bad matchup. We're probably going to see Cleveland Golden State. So
yeah, that's the way it's looking.
And Golden State will roll them.
And you think that yeah. You know what?
Golden. You can't not.
There's just too many options for Golden State to score. That's the thing. And you know what?
They'll let LeBron go crazy.
Yeah, they'll let LeBron go crazy. Yeah, no.
Scoring at least.
The thing is,
he'll have 40 points, but 2 assists.
The thing is that the fast break points and the transition and stuff like that for Golden State. The thing is, they take a couple of shots off the shot clock with Curry, and he usually makes shots. But if he misses, then you got Draymond Green pulling out a rebound. You got KD down there, and or they could pass it to whoever's not cold at the moment.
And when we talk about that team, that's the other thing. We talk about Clay. Obviously, we talk about Steph and KD. But Draymond Green, for all his crap talking that I just don't like and don't like that stuff really, but then you look at him and you're like, man, every starter on the floor could be a max contract player.
Yeah, I know. It's just, and then their bench is good too.
The best team ever assembled. It's the best team ever assembled.
It could be. Really could be. So,
well, if you look at other teams, right? What do you compare it to? You compare it to Jordan's Bulls with look, you got 2 top 50 greats, but when they redo the top 50, KD and Curry both going to be in there.
Probably.
So I don't know. I mean, not that it matters for the gambling aspect, but man, that team, I just can't remember a better team in any sport. Maybe the 27 Yankees,
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the assembly of just crazy talent. And then, when you have NBA writers, I don't know if you saw this, but it's interesting to me for futures and stuff.
Yeah.
Where you start talking about teams that are proverbial 6, 7, and 8 seeds.
Yeah.
Maybe they even start tanking. For to try and get superstar prospects out of college, to try and get that draft position. Because when you're going against Cleve and Golden State, what's the point? Look, the number 2 teams are so far away from them.
Right on.
So
Fast Eddie just sent a 2-pack. Excellent photos, my man. I don't know which one I love more.
The blue cow, man. I don't know. That chick on the right.
I know they're both. I mean, dude, it would just be a lot. I'm gonna keep my comments to myself here. But
that's okay.
Thank you very much.
That I would let them both completely dominate. And just step out the way and watch it happen.
Oh, of course, man. That'd be a very, very, very fun experience. So anyway, guys, we are here. We are live, and we are talking NBA playoffs right now. And you know what, Dan, just real quick, just to touch on hockey, you've got Nashville, who won in overtime yesterday and beat the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, and they are up 1-0, and whoever wins that series is going to face the winner of Ottawa versus Pittsburgh, Game 1, 7 o'clock this evening.
Pittsburgh is going to kill Ottawa.
You think so, huh?
Look, the Rangers blew that series so bad. I mean, look, they blew 2 games in the last 80 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Giving up goals to get into overtime. That was a heart-wrenching series for me to watch.
Yeah.
The Penguins, I mean, look, I got a lot to say about Alexander Ovechkin and the supposed superstar he is, but regardless of that fact, I don't see any team that can really hang with them game in, game out. Especially, not Ottawa. Not Ottawa. Maybe the Western Conference team that makes it out of there, Nashville or Anaheim. But I got it on the Penguins.
It's looking like Preds, man. Preds are playing lights out.
They are. But Anaheim's still a real solid team. You never know. It's 1 game. Right. But yeah, I would love for the Preds to get there. I'd be rooting for them heavily. All right. They'll be big dogs.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're on
against Pittsburgh. Sorry, I think if Ottawa somehow found a way to get through.
Yeah, I think Pittsburgh would be minus 150-ish, something along those lines.
Yeah.
So, all right, Dan. Well, I did switch the music up because I'd like to switch into what you do best, and that is the diamond. Let's just talk real quick. Looking at some of the standings here. Obviously, Baltimore is handling their business. Any thoughts on the American League East, considering the fact that Adam Judge has been outstanding for the Yankees? Just he's huge, dude.
I mean, I love big dudes in baseball because a lot of the big dudes in baseball, they played football or basketball or whatever, right? Yep. And now you got this monster that's just crushing balls. It literally is he's a boy, but he plays this game like a man's game. So no, man, I think it's funny. I'm killing it in the AL East right now from the beginning of the year, right? I said the Orioles were going to be good. I thought the Red Sox are going to win that division. Yep. I still do.
Yep.
The Yankees are obviously on this amazing tear. Still don't love their starting pitching, but I think they're going to be better than people think. And the Rays and the Blue Jays just stink.
Yeah,
they just stink. You can kind of forget about them. I think that I have a feeling that it's in division, so it might be a little rare, but you might see a 3-way trade. You might see the Yankees find a way to pick up like Archer. You might see them try and make a trade maybe for Quintana over in Chicago.
Do you think they would do that in division, interdivision? You think they would make a trade like that?
Depends on what the offer is.
Yeah, I get it.
Depends on what the offer is. Look, there's like certain trades that never happen. Like you're never going to see like the Yankees Red Sox, right? Or the Mets Yankees, because like God forbid one GM like gets the better of the other one in that, it'll be in the papers for 10 years. And they just don't want to deal with that because everybody remembers that bad trade to your rival. But like the Rays, who are the Rays? Like, if the Yankees go and offer them a good deal for Archer, it's hard. But look, I think someone's going to get him. And then look, the AL Central, that's not really shaping out how I thought. I still think the Tigers will end up being the best team, but it's a division of mediocrity.
It is. Big time.
And then, like I said, the Astros, they're finally doing it. Putting it together. They have a better road record than home. Well, 14-6 at home. Still 11-5 on the road. In their last 10, 8-2. Pitching, like I said, finally put it together. So half of my World Series pick is looking real good.
Yeah, sure is, man. Because you know what? I mean, if you if you look at them, I mean, their challenges were on the road, for the last few years.
For sure.
And
they got off that terrible start last year. Remember, we were cursing them.
Oh, yeah, big time. Big time, absolutely.
And Keuchel, look, I'm so upset. It was such bad weather here the other day. I actually was trying to make it out to Yankee Stadium to see the Keuchel start.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't make it out there for it, but oh my God, he's just back to being just a boss.
Dominant.
Such a boss.
See, here's the thing about, just going back, jumping around a little bit here. I know that you're big with the Houston Astros, but if the Red Sox get in and have my boy Chris Sale on the bump for game one, it's that's a really challenging pitcher to face right now.
You know what I would love to see?
What's that?
I would love to see a wild card game, Detroit, Boston, Sale versus Fulmer.
Yeah, right.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
That would be really good. Or even Houston. Like, I think Houston's – I mean, Houston right now is 8 games up in their division already. Like, the rest of that division is terrible. So I don't think they're going to need a wild card. But that would be fun. Keuchel, Sale. Like, because I think those are your top 3 for the Cy Young in the AL right now.
Sure. Absolutely. And National League, Dan, your Metropolitans are like, who are they putting out there these days?
That's all. You know what though? Here's the thing: they're hanging around 500.
I know.
If you look, they've had 10 major injuries already this year. 10. That's more than there is in a starting lineup. So, look, they're getting unexpected contributions. You also have to remember, this is a team that has some guys in the minor leagues. They have one guy that is a bona fide superstar. He's the number 1 prospect in baseball, in Ahmed Rosario at shortstop. He's going to come up at some point. Obviously, right now, can the pitching hold it together? DeGrom is not a bad ace to have.
Nope.
People forget that most teams only have one ace. I'm not going to talk about Matt Harvey. Like we all saw what happened.
Yeah,
it's a joke. I wish, of course, being from Connecticut, he would take it a little more seriously. He's putting shame to our state. But other than that, look, you have guys that want to go out there and win. They have veteran presence. And you're telling me they lost Syndergaard, they lost Cespedes, they now lost Familia. They're only 2 games below 500, and Cespedes will probably be back in 5 to 9 games.
I mean, I'm looking at it. Their team is just decimated. Man.
Oh, decimated. And I don't even count David Wright.
Like, I know.
I don't even count David Wright. It's like he's just like, I love David Wright, but obviously you can't even count him as injured anymore. He's just like, okay, you're a coach now. And then Lucas Duda came back for the first time yesterday, and I know everybody loves to hate on him. He's a 30 to 40 home run guy every year.
Sure.
Like, that's a huge hit.
Of course.
Reyes started off the year hitting like 1 for a million. So I mean, look, that division, but you got to understand, the Mets are only 6 games behind Washington. Washington is like decent. Lately, they haven't been great.
Yeah.
And if you look at the wild card, they're right there.
Exactly.
So
you're right.
And it's early.
And I mean, and you're getting Steven Mott's back too.
Yeah, you got Mance on the deal. I mean, here's the thing, though, man. Until I see these guys actually put together something, like the Syndergaard injury doesn't concern me as much long term because, like, people tear muscles.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like it's a major, like, arm injury or some crazy stuff like that. But, like, until Matt shows me that he can actually stay on the field for more than, like, 2 consecutive starts, until Harvey shows me that even though he's throwing 95, like, can you throw an outside pitch? Can you not walk guys anymore? Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
I'm nervous. And for everybody that's yelling and screaming to trade Matt Harvey, can somebody tell me what exactly you want for him and what somebody will give?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
well, maybe because of his antics, Dan. Maybe that's what they're talking about.
Everybody wants to hate on him, but like he's still banged Adriana Lima. So like in my book, that's still a win. That's still a win.
That is still a win, exactly.
But and then the Central, the I don't know, man. I mean, I got to say the Cubs are obviously going to make a big run. I still think they're a little like hungover. They're a game and a half back in 4th place. Cardinals, Reds, Brewers, Cubs. Thought you'd hear that right now?
Nope.
Nope, but I'm telling you that everybody thought I was crazy when I said, the Cubs aren't winning over 97 games. Well, this is why.
This is why. 18 and 17 right now. And you know what? The problem with them is that they are always super heavily favored.
Mm-hmm.
All the time.
They are a good team to fade right now. Right now. They're going to get on a run. They are going to get on a run at some point, and people are that have been, fading them are going to lose money, but for right now it's good. By the way, another trend that if you've been watching the Mets at all, and we'll move on from that, but 9 out of 11 first inning scores in their last.
Well, all their starting pitching's pretty much gone, so I understand it.
Well, the Mets have been the ones scoring in the first inning.
Oh, okay.
The Mets have actually scored in the first inning in I think every one of those games. In every one of the 9 out of the 11, there has been a score in the first inning. Both teams might have scored, but the Mets definitely scored. So the Mets offense has been carrying them. I mean, they've been pretty dominant lately. It's just, like you said, you can't walk a bunch of guys in the 6th inning and give up a 4 spot after you tie the game.
That poses a very interesting question then. Can you anywhere bet the Mets to score first and score first inning prop? Because score first inning prop is plus money.
Right.
And
score first, especially if they're on the road now, so they're batting first.
Perfect.
So I don't know if that'll be it's almost a better prop to take. Like, that's something that, look, I don't really screw around with that stuff, but if I'm having fun, I'm having a few pops on a Sunday, and like DeGrom is on the mound for the Mets at home, and I can get that at like plus 250, I'll take it.
Yeah, right. Right, all day. Because, I mean, if you got the score first inning being somewhere along the lines of, let's say, plus 130, then you have the Mets score first, probably minus 110. So you put those together, it's got to pay, I would say, 3-1, Dan.
I think if you put them together, it'd be more than that.
So if a book would allow you to do it, now I don't think they would let you do two props of the same game, but I think that would be an outstanding play if you could do it.
It might.
That's just real smart wagering right there, because $100 gets you $339, kid, on something like that. So play a couple of those.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. See how you do.
Why not?
All right.
All for the fun. But and then the NL West, which I think is surprising to maybe everybody except you and I, because I know that like we've both liked the Rockies and the Diamondbacks.
Oh yeah.
And the Dodgers are squeezed right in the middle. They, they're still looking good, but the Rockies, I mean, all these teams have been really good. So we'll see. I hope for a good 3-way race down. The Padres and Frankie's poor Giants.
Oh,
that's bad. I was wondering at one point, before the Mets took all these injuries, because now you can't really do it. But is there a way to pry Buster Posey away from those Giants?
I know, right?
You think there's any chance that a team can make an offer for him?
I don't see why not. Especially if they become sellers. If they become sellers, halfway through.
Yeah, but Posey's still their cornerstone.
Yeah, I know.
I would love to see him, honestly, in the American League. You know where I'd like to see him, and I mean this is not as a fan because I'm not a Yankee fan and I'm pretty much a Yankee hater. But if they could find a way, I know they have Sanchez, but here's the thing: they've been playing Posey at first base, and he could DH. So like you could get the three of those guys in the lineup every day, every day.
Wow,
just rotating them around, keeping guys fresh. It's not a bad idea for them, and they have the money to do it. So that's a thought.
All right, man. So where you want to start, brother? You want to go right into today's MLB card? Well, before we do that, let me ask you a question. And I want to just run this by you because I've been talking about this for 2 days now with the nation, and I've been talking about the fact because 72% of Major League Baseball games are decided by 2 runs or more. I think that it's a more profitable situation betting run lines. I do. Even though you're losing that 28%, I still think, because I could get, in some circumstances, Dan, I've seen it $1.50 more for the run line in some situations, all the way up to that.
Yeah, I mean, you know me, I don't play anything that's minus 140 or less, unless there maybe a playoff game. So if I see that, if we're, I do take the run line a fair amount. So I'm with you. I do not want to give up a lot of juice, and I feel like there's, as you said, 7 out of 10 games are decided by 2 runs or more.
Yeah.
So sometimes it looks like there's a run of these one-run games. I don't, you got to buy the metrics, but I'm with you 100%.
And I've noticed that. And I'm going to like the high. That was like one of the highest years that it was 28%. Sometimes it falls all the way down to like 20.
Yeah, I mean it all depends, but like I just don't like taking big juice. I know it differs for everybody, but
dude, I'm all plus money right now. I'm in a huge plus money little. What's the word I'm looking for? Well, I've always done it with parlays and stuff. I like making everything plus money. But I've been a big advocate of it because I like the fact that when you lose, it costs you less. And when you win, you make more. You know what I mean? It's like kind of both ways, Oh,
no, I'm 100% with you there.
Absolutely.
I mean, look, I prefer playing. I prefer playing a nice something I see that's under minus 140 without the run line. But the run line definitely makes sense in a lot of situations.
Yeah, I was on Kershaw last night minus 120 with the run line, and they covered that. I just felt like he, after his last outing at Coors Field where he kind of got blown up a little bit, I thought he'd make a little comeback here.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And I also love how the books take into these Coors Field games. Like, I mean, look, yes, Clayton Kershaw's human, guys. Like, you could get name anybody throughout the history of baseball to go pitch in Coors Field and they can get blown up.
Right on. I mean, look at Greinke last year in the desert, although he is clearly adjusted.
Oh, he's looked real good.
Dude, he was pitching a no-no into the 7th inning the other night?
Dude, I someone probably came to me like, "Yo, man, we paid you like $250 million. If you screw this up, we're gonna find a way to like insurance policy you."
Right on, man. I mean, dude, I mean, to throw a no-hitter through almost 7 innings in the desert is hard.
Yeah, no, 100%. I still remember, my favorite pitcher in the desert of all time was Randy Johnson. And I remember, they were actually talking about this the other day, but there was a game where the roof was open, and when the roof's open in Arizona, the ball really travels. Randy Johnson lost a game. He only gave up 1 hit. It was a home run. And right after that home run, the roof closed, and he didn't give up another hit, after that. And he was so angry at giving up 1 run, So, but hey, they needed Greinke to step up, especially now. Hey, is the Shelby Miller trade still the worst trade in the history of baseball? Like, I don't know. You're talking Babe Ruth, and then you're talking about Shelby Miller for freaking Dansby Swanson.
Right on. Exactly. Well, you know what? Hey, listen. They make it into the playoffs, and they put Greinke on the bump. They're going to be in pretty good shape.
That team can mash. I mean, really, they should have done this last year. Obviously, Greinke stunk, and their, one of their top hitters decided to slide headfirst into home plate in freaking spring training.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're putting it together, man. And here's the thing: they got some young guys that they might be able to get another pitcher. This is another team that they're finally competing. I think that their ownership group will and can make a good trade. So let's see what happens. And then Colorado, that bullpen, man, whoo. So, you know, you don't normally, I mean, they're mashing out west, but they got some decent pitching out there.
I love the fact that the Chicago Cubs are the number one favorite here to win the World Series, to repeat. It's just crazy. I think that's nuts.
I just don't.
They're a 500 team right now. Like, how are you only 4-1?
But it doesn't. Again, it's so early. It doesn't matter because they're a 500 team and they're in fourth place. But again, look at that division. They're a game and a half back of St. Louis.
Sure.
So let's say they go on one of their patent, 8-0, 10-1, something like that.
Right back in it.
Division's basically over.
Got it.
So.
All right. So let's go into what's going on today, Dan, because I want to hear what you got to say about a couple of games as we are here and getting involved in. Everybody's out there probably wanting to gamble today.
I hope so.
On these. All right. So pulling it up right now. This is Major League Baseball, guys. Let's see what we got going on for this evening and this afternoon. Dan, do you see anything that's sticking out at you?
I do.
All right. Well, first things first, the Astros-Yankees has been postponed. That's not happening today. So we got a bunch of matchups here, and I'd like to hear what you got to say.
So I'm going to just start at 7:10, and this is a junk game to watch, so I'm sorry. But the Atlanta Braves are playing the Miami Marlins, and the Braves are plus 114. Okay, great. Doesn't sound great, but Tehran's on the mound.
Yep.
And the Braves beat the hell out of Miami yesterday to finally get off the schneid. I mean, they've been getting their asses kicked by the Cardinals and the Astros for the last week. I think Tehran backs it up today. I like the plus 114 on the Atlanta Braves.
Like the plus 114. Any interest in getting the run line with them?
The Braves minus 1.5.
Yeah. You get not all 9 at bats right now because you are on the road.
Yeah, no, I'm good there because they just don't. Here's the thing. I see what you're saying with that, but I could see them winning by a run, and I don't want to kick myself. You can't. There's certain teams you can't be greedy with, and the Braves are not a good baseball team. I mean, they're 12-20. They just happen to have a matchup here that I think looks good.
And you're only plus 175 on that. I thought you would.
I'll take the plus 114.
Yeah, I think because that's only a 60-cent difference. So
if we're talking, if you could get it maybe plus 200.
That's the more along the lines of the numbers that I was looking for.
So book protecting themselves. It's look, when you're doing deep dive analytics, that's one thing that you look at, because that should not be only minus 170.
I agree. It should be plus 220 or more.
So I'm going to take the Braves to win by exactly a run.
By exactly
a run. Where can I put that? Braves to win by exactly a run.
Yep. Right on. All right. So moving on here.
You got anything?
I'm taking a look at the card right now because trying to get an idea of where I want to be. I'm definitely taking run lines today. That's for sure. But I may take a shot, and you're going to hate this. I may take a shot with John Lester today. And the Cubs win by 2 or more.
I don't hate that.
You don't hate it?
I mean, actually, against Martinez.
Cubs minus 1.5 is plus 155 today.
I like the Cardinals today.
You like the Cards, huh?
I'd rather take the Cardinals minus 1.5 at plus 184.
Yeah, okay. All right.
I think that's the better play because Martinez is a stud.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Lester still can't throw to bases.
Yeah, true. You've been saying that for years.
And the Cardinals have been hot. So that's that's just that's my thoughts on that.
Yeah, it's amazing how it's only like a 60-cent difference today on some of these run lines. So it's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, looking at the rest of it here, during the day, we got a couple of games. We got the Red Sox with my boy Chris Sale on the bump versus the Tampa Bay Rays. And you know what, dude? This Rays team stinks. And they have they're pitching Snell today. 0-3 with a 0-3 with a 3.96. So what does that tell you? That means that the Tampa Bay Rays don't hit the ball because he's got a sub-4 ERA and has no wins yet.
Red Sox don't hit the ball that well either.
Apparently not.
When Sale's on the mound. I can't take a run line here because it's minus 110. I almost like the Rays plus 1.5. But where I would go with this game, and I'm not going to take a side here. I mean, I think the Red Sox win, but again, Sale gets no run support.
None.
The under 7.5.
The under 7.5. That sounds.
I would even.
Pretty good.
That's at minus 125. I'd even feel comfortable at minus 7.
Minus 7?
Under 7.
Oh, under 7. Under 7. Got it. 7. Okay. Well, who knows what the weather's going to be, too, because up here in the East Coast, it's not that great. I don't know if it's how it is in Boston, but, it's like kind of damp and it's starting to rain here in Connecticut.
We're supposed to be washed out in Connecticut, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't see anything them talking about the weather for today's game yet. So keep an eye on it. Make sure also, guys, take here's another thing you might want to do. You take only if you can do this, you take only the Rays starters listed and you take the Red Sox on action. And here's why. Because if I actually like Snell and I think he's the one that's the key for the under. But if the weather's really bad, do they push Sale back till tomorrow when it's supposed to be a little better?
Oh, so that's why you take action with the dog.
Right. So then, oh man, Sale's not there, but you take action with the Red Sox, so it doesn't matter whatever starter they put out there.
Yeah, that's a really good. I mean, as soon as if you could hear that somewhere, you go throw the bet in real quick. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Or what you do is, with these rain shortened games, let's say there's a big rain delay. If you take because Sale, if there's a big rain delay, you don't take your investment after a half hour, 40 minutes, an hour of rain delay and put them back out there. So, the under, I really like the under in this. So
is that something they do, Dan? Is it during a long rain delay, will they take the pitcher out and throw him another day?
Not throw him another day. No, it's just, you got to remember, think about after a hard workout, right? And then you walk out and it's kind of a damp or even pouring and and then you sit for an hour.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to get back up and go back to the gym, right? You're oh man, I'm just kind of dead right now. Yeah. That's how it gets for these guys. It's just not good for their arm. Mm-hmm. They go from warmed up to not warmed up and all that. You don't want to risk getting your guys hurt. It's cold. It's going to be 45 degrees and raining. And it's May. So you don't want to risk that. Next week it's going to be in the 70s, 80s. Maybe if it's a warm summer day, you take a little bit of a risk if you need the game, but primarily you're taking that guy out if there's a long time rain delay.
I love the analytical show we got today. We're diving right into this, huh? Damn.
Well, if you think about it, man,
I agree with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. 100%.
Even these days, though, when there's a long at-bat inning for the other team when they bat around and score a 4 spot, they're I hope the other pitcher isn't too gassed to go out there.
Yeah,
it's
it makes a lot of sense, Dan. Yeah. Totally does. Yeah. All right, so looking at a couple of other spots here, we have the very thick under/over in Coors Field. Dodgers are putting Wood on the bump, and the Rockies have Anderson, and it's 10.5 in Coors Field. Think we see a lot of runs today?
I would think so, but again, Wood isn't terrible. Anderson's pretty bad. I don't know. This could be one of those games that surprises you and goes under. I don't love touching stuff at Coors Field. I just seem to get burnt.
If you're a fantasy player, though, you're playing.
Oh, dude. Arizona and Colorado. It's I have Owings and Blackman on my fantasy squad. So, that's been working out pretty well.
What about the Blue Jays kind of trying to make a little run here? They're only 6 games under now.
I kind of like them today, but at minus 173, forget about it. Maybe again, this is a run line up at plus 115. I think that's pretty good, but I still think the Blue Jays are a fundamentally flawed team.
Okay.
So I don't really love taking them either. Where I kind of am seeing a spot sticking out to me, and I'd love to get your opinion on this, is an over in Texas tonight.
Sonny Gray, huh?
Name I haven't heard in quite a little.
Yeah,
little
he's got. I mean, he's at some point. I mean, this guy's got. But the A's don't do it for me offensively. You know what I mean? You're talking about taking the over that
over 9.5.
Wow, that's a lot of runs there, Dan.
Dude, I mean, it's Sonny Gray is bad. Like, I think that
Dude.
Look, I understand what they're saying he did on May 7th, but he also only went 4 2/3. He did give up 7 hits. Only one of those runs was earned, but he did give up 4 runs like against Detroit. Like in his last 2 games, 9-1 at Minnesota. Okay, we talk about Minnesota's okay, but like it's not like they have a world-beating offense.
Yeah.
And then 8-6 against Detroit.
Okay.
In his last start. So 2 overs.
Yeah.
I think the trend follows again. And at minus 110, I'm digging it.
Oh man! See, the challenge I have is that the Oakland A's offensively. I mean, they only put up 131 runs so far this year.
Yeah, but again, it's Texas. Texas gives up a ton of runs.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not loving Nick Martinez. I think that's a good one right there.
All right, sounds good, man. So I'm looking at the card, Dan, and I really don't have much else.
What about the Orioles?
Let's take a look at the Orioles and see what we got.
I like
going
the
on
Orioles,
here.
especially if you can get them on the run line, like the reverse run line.
Yep.
Let's see, what is their reverse run line?
Well, you got Tillman versus Carnes today for the Kansas City Royals.
Yes, sir.
And, it's even money here. So, I mean, if you get them adjusted.
I get them minus 1.5 at plus 165.
You like that?
That's the play.
That's the play.
I think that and the Braves.
All right.
Braves money line plus 114 and the O's run line at plus 165.
All you got to do is go. So here's the beauty of this, guys, and this is where we're at, is that his 2 plays right there, he can go 500 and win money.
Yes.
That's so dope. You know what I'm saying? Because and you're hopeful that the O's come to form and at least you're plus 65. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, I mean that's obviously the more preferential play, but like I'm looking at some other things here too. I mean, I think the Orioles kill them today.
Okay. Were you going 2.5?
Can I? No, I can't. I don't see it on my book of choice.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't. I mean, the 2.5 is interesting. I mean, Tillman could still, they could be up like 8-0, and then Tillman give up like a grand slam.
Yeah, I got a minus 2.5 line plus 250.
Plus 250. That's only 90 cents up from. The
I don't. Yeah, they've definitely adjusted downwards, man. Because I've seen them up like, oh man, I seen the Phillies one time. They were plus 250 for the game, and then they were plus 420 for the run line. It was 170 cents difference, man, or $170 difference.
Yeah,
I was like, wow, why not take a shot plus 420? Damn,
it's baseball, right?
It's baseball. It's one swing at a bat. At the end of the day, it's one swing at a bat can decide if you're a 4-1 shot and winning your money.
For sure.
So,
the other thing, since we're talking about like different, the thing that if you see, one thing that I've done a little bit with in-game, if you have access to in-game, which I hope everybody who's listening does, when you see like a long inning, like a long half inning by one of those teams, like a big offensive bludgeoning, I love that if you could take the next half inning and say that team's going to score. That's a good one because like it just happens after a team like knocks in like 5 runs in an inning.
Yep.
then it just seems like, the when the next team gets up, either the pitcher is a little like thrown off because he just sat for 40 minutes.
Good point.
Or like something like that. Those are nice to take too. So
Interesting. All right, brother. Well, hey, listen. That's going to do it for us because we have no NBA until tomorrow. It is Mother's Day tomorrow, guys, so we will not be on the air. So, Dan, you're calling Golden State Cleveland, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I mean at the beginning of the playoffs, that's what I put in.
Yeah, minus 150. How could you not? Right.
Yeah, I mean I had to do it. I think I never take. You know me, I never take big juice, but I had Golden State also at minus 220 for the whole thing.
Oh wow! Holy shit.
I never do it, but I'm looking at him and I just can't see him getting beaten. I just can't see him getting beat.
Understood.
And look, I will be able to, if it is. I mean, look, if Cleve and Golden State wind up there anyway, the hedge is so good at that point.
It's really good.
And trust me, the hedge is already on right now, so it doesn't even matter. But hey, best of luck to everybody. Remember, everybody, mothers, wives, whatever it is, make sure you treat them nice tomorrow. Take your time. Don't be sitting at Mother's Day brunch trying to put in place for 1:00. Do it before.
Do it before, exactly. All right, Dan. Well, it was great getting you on the show. I'm looking forward to getting you on the show next weekend.
For sure, man.
What do you got to say to close out of here, man?
Hey, just another great Saturday. Hope everybody goes out and makes that money. Watch some good baseball. Again, look for the weather, especially if you're a fantasy player. They don't care if it rains and your guys get rained out. You will lose that money.
Right.
You will not score points for those players. So, definitely check out the different weather sites that are being involved and look at your postpones and your delays.
Right on. All right, guys. So, hey, we had a lot of fun today. We will be back on Monday evening to have a conversation with you to talk about the NBA playoffs and the NHL. And we'll go from there. So enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Go out there, have a good time, and get that money. Let's go.
Peace.